Okay, I wanted to do an update on my bonsai garden. And we'll start here. This is my Bermuda cherry. No, Barbados cherry. You can see I've got some cherries on it there. Coming into, there's another one there that's not quite ripe. And these are young plants. They don't really look real bonsai-like yet. A lot of my plants are fairly new. And I'm working on them. They'll get to looking more bonsai as they mature over the next few years. Another example of that would be this one. I just found out this is a Chinese tallow tree. It just came up in one of my pots, and I gave it its own pot here, and we're going to work with it for a few years, see if we can't thicken up the trunk. Um, this is a fairly, I've had this tree for a year or two, and it's a Blue Point juniper, and it was actually a pretty tall plant when I got it. And I've trimmed it down, and you can see it's got some nice roots going on. It's going to be a nice bonsai eventually. This is a brand new plant. I took a cutting off a tree from across town. It's a mulberry, and it's doing pretty good. Oh, look at this. Gonna come back up for us. That's pretty cool. So yeah, we'll revisit this one later. It's got a long way to go, but this tree is a nice tree. I'm really liking this. I've had this for a year and a half. Again, this was a pretty tall tree. It was more of a bush when I got it. And this is a Duranta recta. It's also called a sky flower. You see these pretty flowers it's got, and it's about to just burst into all these blooms. It's just going to be covered with these white flowers eventually. It's already starting, but most of them are on the back side. But you can see some over here too, in the back. But eventually, they'll come around to the front too, so that'll be cool. This is another Barbados cherry that I'm working on. Both of these Barbados cherries were bought about the same time. Um, so, they're work in progress. I've just kind of started on them. And this is a gardenia. Doesn't have any flowers on it. I've got another gardenia over here I'm going to show you in a minute. It's much smaller, but it has some flowers on it. A ficus that I just bought last year. I'm going to make that into a really nice bonsai, but that's going to take. Ficus are quick growing, so it'll mature quickly and it'll look like a bonsai soon. But right now, it just looks like a stick with some leaves on it. So back here, I've got a really nice hibiscus. This is called a blue opal hibiscus. The flower isn't real impressive today because this is the second day. It's a 2-day hibiscus flower. Lasts for 2 days. First day it's red. Second day it's kind of bluish. You can see it's kind of bluish today, and it's already starting to kind of fade away. This here is another hibiscus. It's makes green hibiscus flowers. I don't have any flowers budding right now, but anyway. Not sure what this is. I'm still waiting to figure this one out. This is something I'm playing with. This Texas ebony. This Texas ebony I've had for probably about 10 years now. Still kind of working on the design. We got some pads over here and a pad over there. Still kind of working on the pads. Also, I'm kind of trying to clean up these roots a little bit. They need to be. Most of those are dry. I need to get them cleaned out. We've got a little Mexican heather that I'm playing with here. We'll see what happens with that. It's got pretty flowers on it. An olive tree. This is a pretty new tree. Had it for a year or so. And we're going to see what happens with that. This is my old granddaddy tree. I've had this one since 1988. So it's about 36, 37 years old. And if you get in close, you can kind of see the age here on the trunk of it. But yeah, I may do some drastic pruning on this one in the next year or so. It's getting kind of leggy. These branches are getting way too long to look like bonsai. And so we'll probably be like cutting stuff back to here and here. Might even cut it drastically back to here. It'd be nice to get this curve and get rid of that one. So yeah, big things coming for this one eventually. We'll see where it goes. This is my little gardenia, and you can see it's got a flower getting ready to go there, another one there. I was hoping it would be open today when I did this video, but I wanted to do this video when the cherries were red. They don't last very long over on the Barbados cherries. So anyway, I'm hoping for some blooms here pretty quick on that. So Chinese elm. I just got this last year, so it's got a long way to go too, but it should mature up pretty quick, get thick. This one here is a crepe myrtle. So I can get the whole thing in the shot there. And you can see it's putting out some suckers here. Typically in bonsai we'll cut the suckers off, but I may leave these on for a little bit because what they're going to do is as they grow, they'll thicken up this trunk and make it a lot thicker. And that's kind of what we want in bonsai, is thick trunks, visible surface roots, and then, you know, the canopy up on top. Got some nice leaves going on up here, but yeah, we may just leave this one. I may cut that one off because that one's kind of in the wrong place, but we might leave these here and let them thicken up the base a little bit for a couple of years and then cut them off. Call them sacrificial branches. I always forget what this is called. I'm thinking Carmella or something like that. I don't remember what it is. It's a fast growing thing. It's got a lot of little white flowers on it, but not today. Actually, I think it's got one little white flower right there. See that? It puts a lot of those out. Then my pomegranate. I like this one. It's not growing as fast as I want it to grow, but it's got full coverage. It's got leaves everywhere, so it'll do fine. I'm not too worried about it. I think it's going to really turn out nice eventually. Chances are eventually I'll cut these branches off. These will be like sacrificial branches, again, to thicken up the base here. Oh yeah, let's do the, these are all of my little juniper bonsais, which are pretty cool. These are all pretty new too. I've had them for about a year. A lot of these are, last year I decided to kind of step up my bonsai game, so I bought a lot of new plants. So a lot of these are new. These are apples that I grew from seed, so they got a long way to go. We'll see what they're gonna do. Got a papaya here in a pot. This is several years old. I don't know exactly how long I've had them. Probably 5 or 6, maybe 7 years. I don't know. This is bougainvillea. It's putting out some really nice color here. Liking that. My grape. I think my camera's getting hot here. This is my black grape plant. Really liking this plant a lot. It turned into a bonsai. I cut it back and pruned it up and put it in a small pot this spring, and it's looking pretty nice. I like the way it looks. Okay, we've got a lime here. This one's kind of struggling. I don't know what's going on with it. I keep it watered. Maybe it's getting too much sun. I don't know. I don't really want to move it much because it's in a cracked pot. And I'm afraid that if I move it, the pot's going to break open. I know it's going to break eventually. I'm just trying to bide my time. So we'll see what happens with that. And then this is my China berry. This is also a grandpa tree. I've had this one for since 88 also. So it's 36, 37 years old. And for most of that time, I just let it grow straight up and didn't really do any pruning on it or anything. So it was pretty tall. If it was sitting on the ground in the pot that it was in, it was over my head. So it was a good, 7-8 feet tall. This spring, I decided it was time to prune. So I made some big prunes on it. I cut it right there. That's a big cut. I cut it again up here. That's another big cut. And another big cut. And then I had another one there. So we really cut that one down a lot. And then that'll grow out, and you won't even be able to tell that it was cut in these places. Like here, this branch here will grow, and then we'll kind of trim off this stump here, and it'll just look like one branch there. Same with over here. This one will grow, and we'll trim this stump back, and you won't even know it's there. I've got another hibiscus down here. It doesn't have any flowers on it yet. This is a white hibiscus, real pretty white flower with a little bit of a red in the center. And this is another of the bougainvilleas. It's not showing any color yet. This one doesn't show a lot of color most of the time. It's going to be a neat little, eventually it'll be a little bonsai too. Okay, I want to show you some different stuff here. I just bought this jasmine just a week or two ago. And eventually we're going to make it into everything back here. I'm trying to make into bonsais. So this will be interesting. This is definitely a long-term project. It's going to take a long time to get that trunk to thicken up, but then we'll have all these pretty fragrant jasmine flowers. I love the smell of jasmine. This is an interesting one here. This is a fig, and what happened here is I did something called air layering. And what you do with air layering is you go to a tree. I have a fig tree out front, and what you do is you cut a strip of bark off all the way around a branch. I did about an inch or an inch and a half strip all the way around, and left no bark intact. And then you put a little bit of rooting hormone powder around the top here above the cut. Then you surround it with sphagnum moss, and then you wrap that in clear plastic, and you tighten up both the bottom and the top, and you leave it there. And what happens is the tree will start putting out roots above the cut where you cut the bark off. And I left it there for one full season. I did the air layering in spring of last year, and then this year when it was just starting to bud out, I came back and looked at it, and it had grown roots out into that sphagnum moss. And so what I did was, once I realized that it had rooted out properly and it was starting to bud back, I cut it off below the where I cut the bark off, and then brought it into my backyard and put it into a pot. And then it just took off. I mean, it's got leaves all over it. It's got little figs everywhere. It's just, it's great. And this one's going to be, it's a quick way to make a bonsai. I mean, it's going to look, I'm going to let it grow like this all year. And then probably next spring, I'll cut it way back. We'll cut a lot of this stuff off and really miniaturize the whole thing so that it's only, I only want it to be about so big or so. I don't know. We'll see how big it's going to be. But anyway, I'm real happy with my fig here. It's done really well. And then this one is an oak. And this one's just blowing my mind completely because I dug this one up out of the ground in the backyard. And you see some of the leaves down in here. And I brought it and I soaked it in some solution with some root hormone. And I left it in there for about a week or so. And then I put it in this pot with some soil in it. And I left it, and it dropped whatever leaves it had, and it sat in there completely dormant. Didn't do a thing. It was just a stick in a pot. And it stayed that way for like 2 months. And it was already spring. The fig had already come full leaf and everything. And then about a week ago, maybe a week and a half ago, 2 weeks maybe, it started pushing out little buds. Couldn't believe it. I thought the thing was already dead, but it wasn't. And it's put out all these wonderful leaves all over the place. And it's coming back. Look at that. That's growth from like a week. That's a week's worth of growth right there. Amazing. Just amazing. Down there, there's a whole bunch of it too. So yeah, hopefully this will survive. Looks like it's full of life. I had a hackberry back here. And it was leafing out pretty good, but for some reason it's kind of decided it didn't want to go, so it's died back. And then I have an aqua here. I thought this was an oak when I dug it up out of the ground, but it wasn't. And it sat in that root hormone solution along with the oak and the hackberry, and it's been doing pretty good. It's got some kind of bug or something in it right now. It's eating leaves, but I don't really care. I'm not too worried about this plant. I've already got an aqua. This is my grandpa aqua that I've had for 36, 37 years. So if this one survives, fine. If it doesn't, I don't care. Whatever. But yeah, that's my these are my bonsais. Got a nice collection. Not all of them look exactly like bonsais yet. Most of them are all works in progress. That's what bonsai is. It's all just they're never done. You just keep working with them, and it's an ongoing hobby. So we started with the cherries, so we'll leave you with the cherries. So thanks for watching, and maybe we'll come back with another update on my bonsai garden in the future. So thanks for watching.